All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we are going to be in the 140-pound division, where Ryan Garcia performance puts pressure. And you know I'm going to do this. Y'all can call it hate if you want. I'm going to tell you. The pressure is on Devin Haney for his big fight coming up this week, December 9th. And the pressure has been put on by a combination of Shakur Stevenson's results, Tank Davis's results, Ryan Garcia's results, and his mouth. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to be in the 140-pound division, where we just had a good fight take place last night. And when I say good, I mean an exciting fight that took place last night. It was a fight between Ryan Garcia and Oscar Duarte in Houston, Texas, at the Toyota Center on a Golden Boy card, which was televised on Matchroom. That was on DAZN, excuse me, on a Golden Boy card that was televised on DAZN. All around, I liked the coverage of the fight. I have to say that. I kind of liked the commentary. It was cool to have Sergio Garcia there with Sean Porter. Great addition. The lady that was interviewing in between the fighters in between fights, I don't know who that was, but good selection. Really enjoyed it. And it was topped off by two fights. One, I got to say, shout out to Kid Austin, who won by knockout in the first round, looked very, very good, came off of a more trying fight in his last fight. This time he comes out, gets the stoppage. So shout out to Kid Austin. Really, really good job. I think about him and Raymond Ford in the same breath a lot of times. Two up-and-coming young fighters that I like to watch. But Kid Austin looked very, very good. Floyd Schofield is his name. Kid Austin, Floyd Schofield, with the first round knockout. And then you had Ryan Garcia. And let me tell you, man, Ryan Garcia did his thing. It was an exciting fight. You had a lot of cheers from the crowd. You had some boos when Ryan got on his bike. It's in Texas, large Mexican population, so you can expect them to start booing if you're not throwing them hands. However, ends in a knockout. I think everybody got their money's worth. Everybody got their time's worth. And by the way, it was not on pay-per-view. So fast forward to what we got going on next week, which is Regis Prograis versus Devin Haney, which is a style matchup that could be similar to the Ryan Garcia fight. Could be similar, at least similar in an aspect that you got one come forward. You got a fighter that you know is going to press in Regis Prograis fighting, and the week after you had a fighter that you knew was going to press in Oscar Duarte. Now, admittedly, Regis Prograis is a higher level fighter. At least he is a more successful and noted fighter than Duarte is. So don't want to have that out there that I think those guys are the same level of fighters, even though I will tell you Duarte is a tough cookie, and Ryan Garcia, in my book, gets full credit for that win. However, the knockout puts pressure on Devin Haney because Devin Haney is now the third of these lightweights, or actually the fourth of these lightweights to have fought recently. You had Teofimo Lopez that wound up dog walking Josh Taylor. So he looked good. And I do believe he was an underdog in that fight and won as an underdog. So that's a unique standout to beat up on Josh Taylor and beat him as an underdog. So made him look good. Ryan Garcia Gervonta Davis knocked out Ryan Garcia. He looked good. Exciting fight. Ridiculous amount of money made. Knocked out Ryan Garcia. Then you had Shakur Stevenson, who got talked about by Devin Haney and pretty much everybody else extremely badly for his lackluster performance against Edwin De Los Santos. Another strong, try to walk you down, even though he's a little more quirky, a little bit more twitchy than the other guys, right? Tried to walk down Shakur Stevenson. Shakur Stevenson wins a snoozer. And everybody criticized him. They do not care. Watch this. Do not care that he won a title in his third division. They didn't care. So now the Devin is coming on after a Ryan Garcia knockout against Regis Prograis. He's going to need a spectacular performance to keep pace. Because if he doesn't, don't want to hear anything about division, a championship in the second division. I don't want to hear that. Because guess what? Everybody that I named, with the exception of Ryan Garcia, has championships in multiple divisions. Gervonta Davis has them in multiple divisions, and now you can't even say he doesn't have one in at 135 pounds, because that super title is gone, which makes him the champion for the purposes of undisputed. So he has 3 of them at 130, one at 135, and I don't care what you say, I think he still has one at 140, but you know how people don't want to get a man credit for it. Whatever. Some of y'all don't want. The rest of us realize that, hey, man, that's a championship belt. That's actually the original belt. But what have you. Then you have Shakur, who's a champion in 3 divisions. Then you have Teofimo Lopez, who's a unified champion at 130 pounds, 135 pounds at the least. He's really undisputed, but you know what y'all do. Not giving the man the credit for what the man did. But whatever. He still has, at the very least, 3 belts at 130. So he's a unified champion at 135. And now he's a champion, WBO world champion at 140 pounds. So the 2 division champion thing, he's third in line to have gotten that done. So he's not the youngest to do it. None of that stuff y'all going to want to give him. Okay? So stop it. He's going to need a knockout over Regis Prograis. It cannot be a let me grab him, hold him, move around, jab. I can't really hurt him, but let me grab him and hold him and jab. It's not going to work because the standard has been raised by Devin Haney himself when he said that Shakur Stevenson only deserved 10% because of how boring he was against Edwin De Los Santos. So out of Devin's own mouth and the mouth of Devin Haney fans, he's under a lot of pressure. And, of course, because of the very good performances of everybody else. And at the end of the day, that's what people want to see. People want exciting fights. If you're talking about being the champion, that's cool. Being the champion is being the champion. Being a former undisputed champion is a great thing, too. But, man, look, ain't nobody running out there looking and checking for Alexander Usyk at cruiserweight like that. Right? They were checking for Monster Inoue before he had the undisputed titles because of what he's doing and the excitement he's bringing in the ring. And, you know, we talk about the skills pay the bills and that's what's most important, but you can't say that's what's most important while you dog Shakur Stevenson for doing what he needed to do to get past a guy and win the championship, hit and not get hit. But anyway, we'll see how it turns out, man. But just know for sure, can't have no snooze fest. Got to go out there and do it. And to Devin Haney's credit, Devin has been pushing the envelope more in his last several fights. He pushed it more in the second George Kambosos fight, and he pushed it more against Vasily Lomachenko. I don't know if he should be fighting like that against Regis Prograis, though. So he may say that discretion is the better part of valor and, you know, try to win and fight another day. But it's going to be tough for him to say he's the king of the 140-pound division where if Rolly moves and gets if Ryan moves and gets a Rolly fight, and he'll probably beat Rolly. And you got Teofimo Lopez, who's the WBO champion, and you got Matias that's the IBF champion. You know, and he's if he becomes the WBC champion, he's still got to get past Regis. But look, man, this is a really exciting time in the 140-pound division. And to Devin's credit, his presence there, and Ryan's credit, his presence there, and Teo's presence there really add a lot to it. Too bad these guys couldn't have stayed around at 135 to get that work with Gervonta there. But now they got their own weight class. As long as these guys are fighting the guys like Gary Antoine Russell, fighting Matias, fighting Prograis like Devin is doing, fighting these other guys that are top and not just acting like they're the kings of the world, we should have a really good time over the next couple years. Anyway, that's my take on the matter. Please let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.